Hello and welcome to, I think it's day 48 of the current lockdown here in the UK. My name is Anakin and I live in the southwest of England in Cornwall. We've had some really gorgeous weather again this weekend. We had a bank holiday on Friday, which for those of you not in the UK, bank holiday basically means a public holiday. Normally we have a public holiday the first Monday in May for May Day, but this year they moved it to Friday because that was VE Day, Victory in Europe Day. So they moved it so we could have like a weekend celebration because it was the 75th anniversary of Victory in Europe. Fortunately with the lockdown that didn't happen, although a lot of people did celebrate apparently, and not very socially distanced either, so not a very good idea. But so we've had a long weekend. We've had gorgeous weather down here in Cornwall. It's a little bit cooler today and it's a little bit overcast and a bit windy today. So I've actually been doing a bit of work today rather than sitting in the garden. But Friday and yesterday, Saturday, I sat in the garden a lot. Today's Sunday. Excuse me. So I've done a lot of knitting. I've been struggling a bit with new designs lately. I finished 2 shawls last weekend. One was the mystery knit along. The final clue for that is up if you haven't seen it, and I've also published a blocking video in the Facebook group and on YouTube. And I also finished a shawl for a magazine last weekend, which has been posted off to the magazine. And then I was kind of thinking about what to do next, and I was waiting for some yarn. I'd placed a wholesale order, just a small wholesale order, for some yarn I wanted for my online shop, and then I'd added a couple of yarns that I wanted for myself. So one is this yarn. It's a very noisy bag. This yarn is Shopple 6 carat, which is a silk merino blend. I really like it. Love that colorway. I want to make like a summer lacy sweater for myself, but I haven't quite decided what stitch pattern to use yet. I know the shape I want. I just need to decide on the stitch pattern. I have done a little bit of swatching, but I haven't made a decision yet. And then another yarn I ordered is Zauber Ball. But the colourway I wanted didn't arrive, and they sent me another colourway instead, which I'm a little bit less... I like it, but it wasn't what I wanted to knit a sweater in. And that arrived on Thursday afternoon, I think. So I'd kind of planned to cast on for something as soon as that arrived, although I hadn't actually made any specific plans. So it was a sweater for this yarn, and then I had a cardigan planned for this other yarn that didn't arrive. So when that didn't arrive, I wasn't quite sure what to do, so I did it again. And then on Friday, I thought, no, I really need to cast something on. I can't just, because I've been knitting socks for the last week, and I thought, I can't just knit socks. I really need to get another design on the needles. So I grabbed a ball of Zauber flower, or rather a cake of Zauber flower. I don't have one. They're on the shelf over past the video there. They come in kind of quite big kind of cakes. But I find them a little bit awkward to knit from, so I wind them into a ball before I start knitting. And I just charted out, I flicked through my notebook. I have loads of charts that I chart up in my notebook, so I just flicked through them, found a chart I liked, made some scribbles, cast on. I was humming along quite nicely. That's how far I got this morning. After I'd done my workout and done a bit of work, went downstairs at lunchtime and I picked it up and I thought I had planned to add beads to this and I forgot. So I kind of sat there and thought about it for a little bit, and then I actually did grab some beads, some green ones so that you can see it, which isn't the colour I want to use, just to have a very quick go at my thought for adding beads and see whether I liked it. So I do like it, so I'm actually going to now rip all this out and start again. I did consider not ripping it out and just carry on and not add beads, but I really want to add beads, so I've decided to rip it out. I've not been knitting that much. I think I've done like 10 row repeats or something. and it's better to rip it out now than to think about those beads all the way through. So I'm going to rip that out in a minute. I'm also going to type up the pattern after I finish filming this, and then go back downstairs and cast on again. I've also been knitting some socks, but before that I'll just quickly show you. Just dropped something on the floor there. Remember a few weeks ago I'd knitted these socks yarn by La Bien Aimée, French company. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. The yarn is merino, cashmere and nylon. I can't remember, I think it might have been 10% cashmere, and I can't remember how much nylon and how much merino. It didn't say superwash merino, and because it's got the cashmere in it, I was a little bit worried about machine washing it. So I actually knitted a little tube with some of the leftover yarn, just a little tiny tube, not very big. And then I left that in the kitchen so that the next time I watched a batch of socks, I could chuck this in with it and see what happened to it. So yesterday I watched some I put a load of socks in the machine. I always wash them on the wool wash, and I don't have a problem most of the time, but I did have some socks last year that were knitted in merino, yak and nylon, and they felted. So I wanted to be very careful and try not to felt these because it is quite expensive yarn. So I threw this tube in the wash with the rest of the socks on the wool wash with a 30-degree wool wash with I think it was a 400 or 600 spin cycle. So this one's actually knitted up okay, washed up okay. It still feels fine. It hasn't felted. It's slightly fluffier than this one. So it has kind of probably fulled slightly, fulled rather than felted. But you can still see the stitches. It's still quite stretchy. So it hasn't shrunk or felted properly. But it has gone a little bit kind of semi-felted maybe. These are actually at the same time as I put the other socks in the machine. I just put these in the sink with some wool wash and hand washed them, and then hung them out with the rest of the socks. So I'm not sure where to throw them in the machine next time or not. I'm worried because these are bigger, there'll be more movement and more agitation. For some of the felt you need heat and you need agitation. So I might just leave this one in the kitchen and throw that in the machine again next time, and do that a few times before I decide whether or not to risk washing these. So my little technique, my little what's it called, little trial didn't really work. Didn't give me a definitive result really. I've also been knitting a lot of socks. I finished the first of my West Yorkshire Spinner socks. Love this yarn, beautiful colours. These were supposed to be my queue knitting socks when I was waiting in queues. I haven't actually been waiting in that many queues because most supermarkets haven't had that many queues lately. Well, I did wait for about 10 minutes a couple of days ago. So I've mainly been knitting on these when I've been editing videos, which I've been doing a lot of lately. So I finished the first one, and I think I'm up to about here on this. No, I've just got past the heel on the second one. That's right. I put in the waist jam for the afterthought heel on the second one yesterday. And then I'm also knitting some socks for Simon. Same pattern as this, so same heel and everything as this. This is Regia Perfect socks. So the idea is you end up with two perfectly matching socks. So with these, I think I'm somewhere about here on the leg. So hopefully I'll finish those this week. Anyway, I'll leave you with a short video clip from a walk I did in the woods with Alfie yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. I think it's Friday. We went for a walk in the woods. I'll leave you with a little clip of that. I haven't added any music to it because there's quite a lot of bird songs, so I thought I would leave you with that. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Alfie, come here. Timothy. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Good boy.